Dave Malowski has made the most of every basketball opportunity.
I'm not sure I would be sitting here would have been sitting there 20 whatever years ago now, 28 years ago or 29, going, I'm going to have had these experiences and, be still experiencing it, still learning and growing as a coach and as a person.
Earl Oxford is where it all began. Longtime Bobcat booster, the late Jack Ma, motivated him to pick up the sport.
No question, Jack's kind of, constant kind of yapping at me to get involved had a huge impact on me, I think, to this day, having had the opportunities I've had. He kind of kept going on and on and on.
Malowski played high school hoops with the Crocus Plainsmen under coach Dwight Kearns.
I'm forever thankful to him, and all the people over there that gave me a chance to kind of develop, and I gained a lot of confidence playing there, and boy, I tell you, to this day I look back on those days like I wish I could go back.
The next step was a big one, suiting up with his hometown Bobcats for 2 seasons. Malowski and the BU men's team captured the program's first ever national title in 1987 and repeated the following year.
I honestly didn't know if I could do it. Now that I look back at it, it was a pretty big deal because, you work hard throughout your kind of high school years. And, I think by the time I got to grade 11, 12, I kind of like, okay, I want to try and do this if I can. To this day, I wouldn't trade that for anything.
Climbing the ladder of success would continue for Malowski as a coach. In 2008, history was made, guiding the Plainsmen to the 4A Varsity Girls Provincial Championship.
I can remember in these kids' grade 9 years losing by 60 in Winnipeg, right? And then by their grade 11 year, we ended up fortunate enough to stay healthy and win a provincial championship. And that Crocus experience is second to none.
Malowski was honored as Basketball Manitoba's Coach of the Year multiple times. He also gave back as basketball co-chair when Brandon hosted the Canada Games in 1997. It's where he met his wife, Teresa Van Hoof, who was working for TSN.
We had the floor put in, all that kind of stuff, and I had young kids scorekeeping, and I'm kind of an anal guy that I want it done really well and do your job. So anyways, they came in the next day and were putting their table in and all that stuff, and she comes up to me and she introduces herself, and I'm like, yeah, and she goes, yeah, we need to put someone right beside we need someone to sit right here beside the scorekeepers. And I'm like, no, those people aren't going to be near my scorekeepers because they'll be too distracted, right? So anyways, we had a little bit of a conversation about it, and I think she ended up winning out, and it all worked out. But yeah, it kind of went from there, and I got to know her over the course of the week, and we stayed in touch a little bit, and there it is.
A change of scenery came in 2009 when the couple moved to Ontario to be closer to their daughter who was attending university. The wheels were set in motion for more basketball moments, but the move itself was emotional.
It was a scary move at the time. I can remember the last day of school, and I went home and I kind of just lost it. I broke down. I'm like, wow.
Malowski has worked at various levels, including the women's team at Carleton University as an assistant. They were crowned national champions in 2018, and the Ravens' victory had a familiar ring to it.
I thought back to a lot of the BU experiences and the times we had, the years we had won, and when you win something like that as a coach, I feel indebted to the people who have given to me.
The leap of faith that brought him to the nation's capital from the Wheat City furthered Malowski's coaching career, but he'll never forget where he came from.
I didn't get a chance to say much to Jack before he passed. One of the things I try and teach our kids at school and in our teams is to reach out to the people who've had a positive impact, and I owe a lot to guys like Dwight, and Terry, for just believing in a small town guy that, just tried his best.